What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar. We are talking about ZBCN today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. It is the 3rd of June. Here we are with 21 hours, 24 minutes left in the day, sitting here at $0.00557. We had a little bit of a wick down today, and we're down about 3.8% on the day so far, but we've recovered quite a bit from that wick, right? Most of this day is a wick already. We got a lot of day left. Don't get too excited. Sometimes wicks like this can be indicative that you've found support at a prior area of resistance and that there's a lot of buying pressure, not enough selling pressure, and you're ready to go up to new highs. Sometimes wicks like this are just standard volatility to sucker people in to buy at a higher price before it goes down, right? People who maybe they were, I don't know what keeps happening here. People who were thinking about buying here but didn't, they were waiting for it to go just a little lower, and then it does this. It'll sucker those people into buying when really all you're doing at this point in time, on a 4-hour, it looks like it's a very bullish thing, but really at the moment, you might just be finding resistance at prior support, even at prior resistance, and then going down from here. So let's identify this thing. Let's dissect this thing and see where it's going. My stance is still to the downside. I do still believe we're going to go down to 0.034 or lower, but we absolutely could. This could be the low, and we could be moving up from here. I want to see if that's the case. Okay, let's look at this on the 1-hour time frame. We'll look at this probably on something with some volume. Yes, Bybit's got good volume. MEXC might have good volume. HTX actually does have good volume, honestly. But let's just see. Oh yeah, that looks kind of bearish, you guys. What about Bybit? Where are you, Bybit? Come here, Bybit. Where are you? Am I missing it? Bybit. There it is. Yeah. I don't know, man. Doesn't look like any volume came through to fall. Let's just see which one has more volume. This hour has 408 million on Bybit, 408 million on Bybit, and then on HTX we have 65. So more volume on Bybit. It looks like there's less volume in this just based off the volume read, and then compared to HTX, it looks like there's more volume here. But really, this has the most volume traded on. It is the Bybit perpetuals. So it might be the more realistic price action. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Although I wonder why this wick is included here, but it's not included on the other chart. Anyways, looking at this here, looking at the 1 hour, I definitely am bearish. I think that this was a bull trap. I think that's what this was. There's no volume to back it up. All the volume came in to the downside. This was just a liquidity grab. You're finding resistance at prior areas of resistance. Depending on what chart you're looking at, you're also finding resistance at prior areas of support, whether it's from a wicking high or a closing high. If we look at this on the crypto chart, right, that wick isn't there and it's just here. You're just finding resistance at prior areas of support. That's all you're doing. Bearish candle with a bullish engulfing candle to answer, but sometimes you get that and you still move down. Let's see. Do we have an example of that? I don't know. Like right here, you had a bearish engulfing candle, but then you moved up. Just because you get a bullish engulfing candle doesn't mean that you're absolved of moving lower. You probably do move lower. And then I do want to get this back on the Bybit chart. I just don't like the wick, but it's there on Bybit. It's there on HTX. It's not there on MEXC. So it must have just been something. It's something to do with the perpetuals probably, or with the leverage traders and stuff like that. Anyways, margin traders, whatever. Here we are, 0.055 right now, looking like we want to move down. 1 hour time frame looks bearish. The RSI definitely does look bearish. It looks terrible. Getting overbought and now you're oversold, that explains volatility, but this also could just be the beginning of a downtrend. So I'm not, and I mean, obviously you've got some volatility here, but I'm not going to expect too much. I do think you're geared toward the downside. Looking at this on a 4-hour time frame, 4-hour looks bearish, right? Up here, you were set up to reject the overbought zone. That was like right at the top. I think that was the last video that I made. Was it the last video? Maybe it wasn't. I forget where it was. It was somewhere. It might have been this one. Second to last. What was it? The first? Maybe it was here, right after the top. Whatever though, we were in that area to find resistance, right? Lower highs, the whole shebang. You got bearish divergence. If you look at this on a daily time frame, you do have bearish divergence as well. You have 1 drive, 2 drives of bearish divergence. This bearish divergence did originate back here at about, was it here? Yeah, right here. You've actually seen that move come to completion. It's very possible, with this in mind, with this daily bearish divergence in mind here, you're out of the overbought zone. You've seen a move down that has taken you just below where the divergence started. There is an argument to be made that this is the low and that you don't have to go lower. My only thought is, from here, we take a high to a low. That in itself was a 32% drop. From here, we take a high to a low. That in itself was a lesser drop. I don't think if this was the actual high of this move overall, I don't think that we get off easy with a lesser drop than what we had here, right? I would think, as it is with most cryptos, and what do I know? But this is my third bull market. As it is with most of them, you'll see something on the lines of a 40 to a 60% drop. And something like that. I mean, if we take that into consideration, let's line up any fibs that line up with that. High to low here, we stopped at the 1886200 area. It's very common to drop down to the golden ratio, which, hey, overall, that's about a 40% drop. 0043 is a possible target. We haven't interacted with that yet. And it's also very, very common from this exact area to pull back to the 1414, which is at 0034. If we're looking at the price, it would also make a lot of sense to go back down to that area because if we go back all the way over here, that's also where your all-time highs were. Right there, literally right there with the 1414. And without this, without the all-time high being here, giving this a load of significance right there, without this being between 40 to 60%, which is a normal drop in a bull market for any altcoin that goes on any kind of run. I don't care if it's a 4x, I don't care if it's a 10x or a 30x. It's a very common thing, right, to see this exact same kind of retracement. Without any of that, I could have told you that I'm confident that we're going down to 0034 simply based on the fact that we stopped at this area. It's the most common outcome between this area is to go to that area and find support there. Unless you're bearish, then you might go down to your 886, find support, find resistance, and then continue to go down. It's different. But I'm not bearish on ZBCN. There's some people that think I'm bearish on it just because I'm like, hey, you did a 10x in over a month's time, just barely over a month's time, you did a 10x. And now I'm calling for a standard retracement. People think I'm bearish on ZBCN. On the contrary, my friends, I think that there's a lot of growth to go. This thing still has 100x potential in it. But for the time being, yes, I am bearish. You just gotten out of your overbought zone. You are in a very well-established uptrend in the daily time frame. Uptrends, downtrends in the RSI, they end in the overbought zone or end in the oversold zone, especially multiple iterations in the overbought zone and bearish divergence. You're going to start a downtrend, right? And probably, if I had to guess, as it is with crypto, ZBCN is probably going to move down while the rest of the market moves up. Or while some altcoins move up, maybe that you're paying attention to that aren't. Maybe the whole market doesn't pump, but some altcoins will. Ethereum looks like it's ready to rip, and if Ethereum moves up, man, you know that there's going to be other altcoins that rip as well that are going to move up a lot. Oftentimes, you'll see coins perform like just crazy, moonish, bullish all the way through, while the rest of the markets are being boring. And then when the rest of the market starts to take off, the exciting coin starts to be boring. And this is how you trap pump chasers, right? They miss the moves every time if they're chasing pumps. Just because ZBCN moves down over the next week or two doesn't mean that it's bearish. It's just going to be healthy consolidation. And it probably will be for a week or two. It probably will be. You'll answer this uptrend with a downtrend of your own, and you'll probably come down at least to the 40, if not to the oversold zone in itself. You found support at the oversold zone last time. You found support at it before. It's much more common for you to find support around this 40 area and just below there, but something to the downside has to happen. It's probably going to happen. I shouldn't say it has to, but it probably will. And if we're just drawing what we could perceive as kind of like a similar time frame here, I mean, man, it could be late in this month. It could be early in July before ZBCN sees prices that are above the prices that it just saw. And I'm not saying that to scare anybody. I'm just saying that so that if you're holding ZBCN, you don't have unrealistic expectations that it just moves up nonstop and that it doesn't have any kind of correction whatsoever, and that a 30% drop is all you have to deal with in crypto and boo-hoo, and now you're good to go. No, that's not what it is. I'm saying this so that if you're holding ZBCN, and it goes down and some other coins that you're looking at go up, you don't get distracted. You realize that this is all part of the process. It's very normal. You had a 10x, you're going to correct. You're going to move up, you're going to move down. You're going to move. That's just how it happens, right? So is the name of the game. So is the way that things go. But I don't have anything else that I want to say. All I will say is that through this analysis, I'm convinced that there's a chance that this is the low, but I'm not convinced enough. I still stand by it. I very much believe you're going down to 0034. That's where you're going to find your low. It's probably not going to be this week. It will probably be next week at the earliest, if not the week after. You have time. In that time, as it happened today on a few exchanges, there will be volatility. And even without that wick to the upside, there will be volatility. There's a pretty big wick to the downside still. You know, that there will be volatility on the way, especially a coin like this. It will fake you out. It will make you think that there's times that it's going to run and that you should have never sold it, or that you should have bought more at the lows or whatever, and it's going to the moon, and then as soon as it fakes you out, boom, then it's going to go down. I don't think they're actually going to go to the upside, but I'm just saying that's what happens. I don't really have anything else to say. I think I'm done, but hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Be patient, trust the process. The process will work out. I very much do believe that we're going to see prices at the least at, what was it, 0045? 00426. At the very least there. I would say there's a slight chance that you go here. There's a solid chance that you go here. And I would say there's a likely chance that you go here. A very likely chance that you go here. Most likely outcome, second most likely outcome, least likely outcome, but still I would say like there's a 20% chance you could be finding support here. 20% chance. Anyways, I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.